that key situation.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't have the good first two at-bats against him, but to refocus and be ready to go after him right there in the key spot, it was big. You know, that's the third time through the order, and he got a slider and put a good swing on it. So these guys all work hard, you know, and some days it pays off and some days it doesn't. I mean, there's guys on the other side of the field that are trying to get him out, and some days you don't get it.
Good morning, Kansas City, I think. This is the Border Patrol on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Stephen St. John solo. Jake Gutierrez is here also, so I guess I'm not solo. Let's get this straight. Who am I doing the show for?
Basically just me. Just doing it for me.
How's that different than any other day?
Entertain me. Entertain me, Stephen.
You sound very, very soft, very light.
Light? Let me give you some juice.
Yeah.
Hey, there you go.
Give yourself some juice, I think, maybe.
Testing.
There
1,
we
2,
go.
3.
There he is.
Hey.
Hey, how are you?
How's everybody doing? Who are we performing for today? Who are we entertaining? We are streaming live on Facebook, on Twitter, on Twitch, on YouTube. I guess X is what they call it nowadays, but whatever. All those platforms. We are always on the app, it seems. So if you're listening to us on the app, well, I think it's pretty solid. We are not over the airwaves currently, but I just was been updated from our man.
What's the update?
Jason, the power company is on site. They're working on the power now. We're having an issue. Some inside baseball talk here.
Yeah, talk about it. I'll tweet it out.
We replaced our transmitter a few months ago. We got a brand new transmitter, and the generator and the transmitter. I guess was the first test on that run, and transmitter didn't like the generator.
Transmitter is down.
Yep. So
we are still streaming live. I think.
We are.
I think.
Well, Mike Boddicker's calling me. What's up, Bod? Calling to tell me we're not on the air, I bet.
I'm already getting a lot of those text messages.
He doesn't.
He would have no idea that we're streaming live.
I imagine he just got in his car, and he wanted me to know, hey, Jake, you're not on the air. So thanks, Mike. I'll let you know. He should just jump online and start listening on YouTube. I'm sure.
Right.
Hey.
More people.
Yay.
Hey, we're streaming live. That's why I'm trying to send this tweet out. I'm trying to look for the correct emoji. Can't find it, though. What emoji would be appropriate for this situation? So, Boddicker letting you know?
Yeah, he also let me know he's here.
Oh, hey, great.
Be right down.
Tell him that we're not on the air.
I'll let him know.
Right.
I'll let him know. I'll be right down.
Okay. Will you?
Sure.
So we think we'll be back on the air
shortly. I bet it's a matter of minutes.
Really?
15, 20. My guess. Okay. I imagine that's probably not too hard of a solution. Then again.
There, I tweeted it.
Hey, I'll retweet it.
Oh. Let's see what else is texting me.
People can listen to us.
Yes. Well,
I'm being told that the signal sucks. So maybe we're on the air on low power.
Already being told the show sucks.
I've been told that before.
Right.
I've been told that
We've
before.
heard that.
Yeah. Thank you. Appreciate it.
I don't really want to use any of my material right now, and I'm like kind of in no man's land. Do I start with my Royals talk? Do I just kill time if it's really going to be a matter of minutes?
Well, if you want to save the Royals talk, you start with the NBA. Nah.
How about those Royals?
Pivotal Game 5s last night. Did you know that?
Yeah, but neither game was any good.
No, it wasn't. But I guess I heard this stat that only 18% of the teams that lose Game 5 end up winning the series. So it's looking like probably the Knicks and probably the Nuggets moving on. Which I don't think that's too big of a shocker. Maybe after the Nuggets started 0-2.
I was hoping we weren't marching towards Nuggets and Celtics, but I guess that'll be a fine series.
Yeah,
whatever.
I just want the Celtics to blow it.
Yeah, I don't want the Celtics in it, and I've seen the Nuggets win, so I'm good now.
Right. I think you're probably right.
Listen to this. Tell me what you would have done here.
All
I'll
right.
start off with something different.
All right, start with something
little
different.
gambling. So I don't know if you've been following this story, the story of Wayne Shelton. Wayne Shelton, the bettor, who placed a $100 parlay in May of 2023. So a year ago, he put $100 down on this parlay. Would you like to know what it was? For the Texas Rangers, Kansas City Chiefs, and Oklahoma City Thunder to win championships.
All right. It's reasonable.
$100 parlay on the Rangers, Chiefs, and Thunder championship futures. We could pay him $1.7 million.
Wow.
Rangers won.
Yeah, they did.
Chiefs won.
Yeah, they did.
How would you feel right now about the Thunder?
I think the Thunder actually are going to beat Dallas. I'm rooting for Dallas.
Would you? Okay, here's the question. Would you let it ride and see if you could win the $1.7 million by the Thunder winning the championship, or would you cash out right now for $80,000?
I'd probably cash out for $80,000.
On Tuesday morning, Wayne Shelton, the Arizona resident, posted a video to his Instagram story showing him cashing out
smart man.
his bet on DraftKings for $80,960.17.
I think I'd do the same.
He confirmed to ESPN that he's putting the wager behind him. Shelton said, I said last night, if we win this game and they offer at least $80,000, I'm walking. Well, they're offering $80,000, and I don't think I can take any more.
Well, I wonder what he would get, like if he went and bet like $40,000 on the Nuggets.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Or or something,
He said,
make a little more money.
I want to keep going, but I'm a single dad, and the money would be wonderful. His cash out got as high as $100,000 at one point, but then fell to $30,000 after Oklahoma City lost 2 games in the series against the Mavericks. After the Thunder won Game 1 of the series, Shelton placed hedge bets at multiple sports books for Dallas to advance in the playoffs past the Thunder. So there you go, see? Shelton got varying odds at each book, but he estimates that he put $10,000 worth of bets to win around $14,000 should the Mavs win the series. Secondary market services, WagerWire and PropSwap, you ever heard of those? WagerWire and PropSwap
No.
valued Shelton's ticket at $171,000 and $201,000 respectively at the time of the cash out, though there were no offers from prospective buyers on the table. Shelton had previously received offers via WagerWire but did not accept any.
So I would take half of that. I'd take $40,000, and I'd go bet the Nuggets to win the finals at plus 275 and put $40,000 on it, and you can make $150,000 more.
But what if they don't?
Well, then you still win 40.
I think the point is he's done. He's done with this.
That's weak.
He said, things got so crazy so fast, it was so overwhelming for me that the movement was so extreme. You just don't know until you're in that situation how it's going to affect you. In this case, I'm at that point where I didn't want to walk, but we're literally one game away from being totally screwed.
Yeah, that's the right move. Because I could
it was up to 100, then down to 30, then it got to 80, and he pulled the trigger. All right.
I do the same. Smart move. That's fantastic. But I would probably...
Because I don't feel like the Thunder are going to win. Maybe this series, but I don't,
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, they might beat Dallas, but I don't think they beat the Nuggets. And they might not beat Dallas. Like, I don't think that's a shoe-in.
So you wouldn't have held out for the $1.7 million?
No, but I would definitely, I wouldn't be done if I were him, though. I would pocket.
Well, he put some money on the Mavericks. So now that he's off this bet, he's got to really be pulling for the Mavericks now.
Yeah.
You can't sit back and watch the Thunder win now.
No, those hedges are pretty smart, move.
Right.
But I would, I would probably go look at another future. I mean, I think the Nuggets getting plus.
I mean, $100 investment a year ago turned into $80,000.
Thank you.
He says he's a single dad, took advantage of it, and just a couple of days ago it was down to 30. So he's got to feel pretty good that Oklahoma City bounced back and get back to 80.
Yeah.
You're probably sitting there with his 30 like, oh God.
Right.
Come on, get this back up over 50 or something, and I'll pull the trigger.
We said, I mean, it got to 80.
All right.
Get to 80 and I'll do it, and he did it.
Good job out of him. I thought that was interesting. Also considering it involved the Chiefs. So,
yeah,
go Chiefs. Helping people win money every day. Now the Royals, if you bet on the Royals, they helped you win money
last night.
And let me tell you something. This game was headed into the crapper again because after 6 innings, the Royals were shut out. And we've had this conversation the last couple of days, man. The inconsistent offense wasting starting pitching. And that's why we continue to have the conversation about making some moves in the outfield to try to get some more production. When do they do that? But last night, one of the guys that could be described as being on the hot seat, Nelson Velasquez, came through with one of the biggest hits of the year. And look, yesterday when we were going through this, I said, when we were talking about who loses at bats, let's say if they do at some point call up Drew Waters or they trade him for somebody or whatever, who loses the at bats? And most all of us have agreed MJ Melendez. They gave too much money to Renfroe to walk on him right now. And I said yesterday, Velasquez has been struggling, but I'm still enamored with his power. He's got too much power to give up on yet. And I now feel pretty good for saying that because he won a game last night for the Royals because of his power.
He's bringing power.
The Royals, again, struggling to score runs. They're down 1-0. You're thinking, damn it, man. Michael Wacha pitches 6 beautiful innings and only gives up 1 run. You got to take advantage of this. You can't keep letting these opportunities slip away where your starting pitcher goes out there, pitches his ass off, and you don't give him any support.
Waka, waka.
So you're in the 7th inning. Bobby Witt Jr. walks. Pasquantino grounds out, moves him to second. And then they intentionally walk Salvador Perez. And then Michael Massey does not make him pay. He strikes out. So Velasquez comes up with 2 on and 2 out in the 7th. Play the clip again. And takes him deep. Huge 2-out home run in the 7th inning that turns a 1-0 deficit into a 3-1 lead.
Something in the strike zone to be able to handle. Line, left field, and deep, and gone! Well, there you go, Nelson Velasquez.
that first pitch take makes all the difference. Gilbert has to come in the strike zone for him. Velasquez with a heck of a swing. Fastball inside, just brings those hands in and absolutely delivers the power shot that the Royals have been waiting for off of his bat.
Thank you, my friend.
Gilbert. That's why you don't give up on Velasquez and his power. And he'd been struggling, but one swing of the bat, boom, that wins you a game. Royals added another run on a Michael Garcia RBI single in the 8th. And then MacArthur gives up a home run in the ninth, but not enough to hurt him, and the Royals win 4-2.
And guess what? We bring power back, and we are on the air. We are on the air.
Play the clip then. We brings power.
He's bringing power.
You can hear us on the radio now.
So that's why you don't give up on Nelson Velasquez. He's got such great power.
He's bringing power.
He could change a game with one swing of the bat.
Power.
And he's shown that in his brief major league career with the Cubs and the Royals. And you wonder, why? Hey, Melendez has power. Why he doesn't have as much power as Velasquez, or he hasn't shown as much power at the major league level. And so, hey, look, if you argue keep Melendez in the lineup, move on from Velasquez when it's time to make a move, I mean, I'll listen to it. I am still enamored with the power of Nelson Velasquez. And look, last night, it won them a game. That was a big spot, man. That was a big hit. Huge home run for Nelson Velasquez. And again, so you cannot ignore the power he's shown in limited opportunities at the major league level. I mean, last year he hit 17 bombs between the Royals and the Cubs in just 162 at-bats. He hasn't matched that this year, but it's in there. We've seen it at least in a short sample size. So, he needed it. The Royals needed it. And he's been better as of late. Things are turning around. He's now, he's got a modest 5-game hitting streak, but I'll take that. They've been getting nothing from outfield and DH pretty much. And it felt like we were headed right towards another disappointing outcome from the offense last night until that one swing changed everything. And now you get to feel great and celebrate the start from Michael Wacha. We talked a lot about him working on a new pitch and tinkering with things and feeling a lot better now out there on the mound. And he showed last night 6 innings pitched, 3 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts. Schreiber pitched an inning and 2/3, and then MacArthur shut it down. And again, we talk about the guys that aren't producing. Melendez, another offer. Oof. Oof. It was good to see Renfroe get on base a couple of times. He had a hit and he had a walk. And that walk helped lead to a run, the late run, the insurance run tacked on by Michael Garcia's hit. So that's good. Hey, look, I want Melendez to turn things around. But, I mean, what can you do? What can you say? But big hit, big spot for Nelson Velasquez, and he comes through with a 3-run home run, helps the Royals to a 4-2 victory. Royals alone in second place right now as they move up in the standings. Minnesota lost, but Cleveland won. Cleveland's won 3 in a row now. Cleveland's on top 27-16. Royals game and a half back at 26-18. Twins 24-17, half game back behind the Royals. And of course, by leapfrogging the Minnesota Twins, that means the Royals are now in the second wild card spot.
Hello.
movement.
Thank you, my friend.
And the Yankees and the Orioles flip-flops. Now the Yankees are in the division lead, and the Orioles are the number one wild card team. Orioles and Royals both had 26 wins, but somehow the Royals have played 4 more games and have 4 more losses.
Boys are playing some ball.
But right now, the number 2 wild card spot to the Royals, with the 3rd spot to the Minnesota Twins. So good night last night for the Kansas City Royals as they beat the Seattle Mariners 4-2. We'll take a break. Are we on the radio? Yeah. Have we been streaming? Sure. Do I know that for a fact? No.
Yes, sir.
No, I don't.
Yes.
I might be talking to myself. And how would that be any different than last night at 11 p.m.? I'm just talking. We'll take a break. Back after this on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Well, I'm glad I tweeted that out about us still streaming live and the transmitter being down because the Drake replied, Evergy did save the day, we're back on. But then we had a lot of different people checking in with us. I like seeing this. Scott said, don't worry, fellas. I got you guys on streaming at the gym. Daniel was like, damn, Daniel. I'm listening on my phone. Jay says, can hear you fine in Savannah. Have a great show. We had one listener, Cannabis X Corpse.
Oh, boy.
Says, loud and clear up here in Canada.
A little
Okay.
foggy up there.
All right.
It's really foggy here.
John says, loud and clear from Houston. Streaming in Houston. Rick, yes, listening on the app at Topeka. Samir says, the ATL's biggest Swiftie hears you loud and clear. D-Wags, listening on the app. I forget about how many different ways people listen to the show and how many different spots. So to all those good people out there outside the Kansas City area that are listening, good morning. Thanks for listening. Hopefully we're delivering you a hot, fresh slice of Kansas City.
Thank you, my friend.
That sounded weird. Now Mike Boddicker's here.
I've been here.
Mike, you've been streaming?
Yes. No, I got it on the app, so.
You love it.
I called Jake up to let him know I was here.
Right.
And he goes, I know we're not on air. I'm going, no, I figured you knew that.
Rally Bug, loud and clear in Lincoln, Nebraska. Let's go.
Makes it interesting, though, doesn't
I like
it?
that. I don't know.
It's a good thing. You can see how many people are actually.
I enjoy it.
Yeah. Checking you out.
I don't.
Why not?
I enjoy hearing the responses. I don't enjoy at 4:15 this morning my morning starting. Well, I mean, my morning started at 3, but like
the lines in your face tell me that you've had a rough morning, Jake.
It's just
Yeah, either that or you slept funny last night. One of the two.
Probably both.
I slept well last night, but I had some bizarre dreams.
I hope good ones.
Well, let's analyze them.
No, just bizarre. Like my dreams pretty much come down to I have a lot of them where I'm being chased.
Isn't that a bad
people
feeling?
are trying to get me. Yeah. And I wake up, my heart rate's up, and I'm just like, it's like I'm in a movie, and they're,
I have the one where you're running away.
Yeah.
And you're in quicksand, and you
Yeah,
can't go anywhere. You can't go anywhere.
I watch way too many thrillers and just like, spy movies or whatever else, and I feel like, the government's after me, and they whatever. I don't know. There's
It's a manifestation.
people after me, whatever.
It's a manifestation of fear and anxiety.
Okay, yeah, sure.
And you're running away from something you don't want to confront right now in your life.
Right. Well, it's not now. I've had this my whole life. That's the most I have.
He's called Steve St. John Sr.
And like, and people are trying to kill me is what it is, okay? But then I have a lot of dreams. I've had a lot of dreams recently where, and these are the ones I like. Like I had a dream last night that I was hanging out with my grandpa in his house for a long time. And nothing really happened, nothing bad. But it was like conversations, and it was powerful enough where it almost felt like I hung out with my grandfather last night.
You did.
And I love those. And that one was...
That's real, man.
I woke up, though, I was like, ugh, go back to sleep. Because we were at his house, and just, we were talking about things, and I said, this is great. Those I like. Those are wonderful. And then, then you get the bizarre ones, where you keep, okay, what's this one? Analyze this one, where I keep falling. And
well, you did do that at the track meet.
Right, but then I wake up right before I hit the ground.
I've had
I
those
keep
too.
falling. But but in different ways. I don't know. It's odd. They're always very emotional dreams.
usually means like you're losing control over something very important to you.
Is this in your book? I'd like to know.
I bet that's. I feel like with Richie, maybe you could feel like this, like Richie being, a man, and I don't see him as much, and he's on his own, and whatever else. I always fear losing that connection. And Phil's 21, walking around, started his internship where he's,
he's a
working
stud.
every day.
Phil's a
He's
stud.
gone a lot, and I'm, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm not losing my
obviously,
boys, but it's like, you know, there they go.
You never lose
in the
them.
world.
You're losing control.
Right.
Kids are like boomerangs. You kick them out, and they spin around, and they come right back.
Yeah, and then the girls have just been.
Woof.
Finals week has brought a lot of stress and
There you
anxiety
go.
into
See?
my life.
Jake was right. Stress, anxiety.
You know.
Yeah.
And
It's in your book, though. Right?
Yeah.
And people will find out what I'm alluding to a little bit later on, not today, but there things are there's some changes happening in my life,
Oh.
in Jake's life.
Well, then you got your
Your life.
Rasheed Rice deal.
Yeah. I'm losing control of Rasheed Rice.
Yeah.
I'm having all these.
You lost control of that one a long time
nightmares.
ago.
Did I ever really have control of them? You know,
I wish you would have.
I mean, I believe that's how your grandfather talks to you in your dreams. I think that's how people from beyond keep in contact with us.
oh, dude, it was realistic,
It
man.
is real.
was-
So it's just another state of reality. It's just a different, this could be a dream. I mean,
Oh, it is. Trust
Right.
me. To me,
if
it's
this is a
it's
dream,
a dream.
my dream sucks.
well, I mean,
I
it's
need to
a
dream about better
nightmare.
stuff.
This is a dream.
But I truly believe that we get messages in our dream, and that's they can communicate when we're conscious, but our mind can't conceive that. So when our mind's asleep, our consciousness never sleeps, or we go to sleep physically, but your consciousness never sleeps.
Why do I always have to go to the bathroom in my dreams? Like I was telling Grandpa, I gotta go to the bathroom.
It's not your dream, Slick.
Neil.
Wait till you get to my age.
Yeah, hold on,
it's,
Neil.
It's
I know.
so real.
Right.
It's your prostate.
I'm always looking for a bathroom. I'm on, we're getting ready to go. So wait a minute, I gotta use the restroom. Oh, hurry up, Neil. I gotta go. How about those Royals? That was a big win last night.
It was.
A big spot for Nelson Velasquez.
I was really happy that they won, but the game sucked.
Now, why do you say that? They won.
21 strikeouts and all the runs except for one were home runs. That's boring baseball. God, it was like watching paint dry.
Nelson Velasquez's home run was not boring. That was a big moment.
Yeah, that was okay. It's just
I'm
I'm looking at the
build up to it was exciting.
No, there was that little
mean,
bit, but still
Having to walk sound and
that inning was exciting. Come on,
that was about it. That
That's fine.
and a couple defensive plays. Other than that,
but look, the Royals' bats were silent, and you felt like this. Oh man,
everybody's bats were silent. When you strike out 21 times in a game, that's awful.
But Velasquez came through.
Yeah,
that's why.
Well, I was happy the Royals won. To me, the overall picture of the game is like, God, that's boring. Oh,
and see, but
I was drinking heavily, but last night by the fourth inning. So yeah,
somebody sent me an email and this I was. They made a pretty good point. This why are you guys talking about the leash with Melendez and not Velasquez? I said, you know what? That's a good point. Good question.
Melendez would not be. He looked awful again last night.
But what I said yesterday was, and I know Melendez is not without power, but Velasquez has such great power.
I would much rather have Velasquez in there than Melendez.
That
there's always that possibility,
right?
Where if they make a mistake, he's going to hurt you.
Well, his power won him a game last night.
Yeah, it did. I mean, and if he makes a mistake, if they make a mistake on him, he hurts you. Where how many fastballs right down the middle did Melendez either miss or foul off? I'm going, holy cow, how do you miss that? I mean, that's 92 right down the chute, and you can't get to it? That's bad. That was bad last night.
So that he's been making adjustments.
What kind of adjustments? He's still over every time. It's like...
Yeah, he's going through a really bad stretch right now. And so that's, oh boy, yeah, he hasn't...
No, it's awful. They keep putting him out there. It's like, wow.
He went 3 for 4 on May 10th, but then since then 0 for 4, 0 for 1, 0 for 4, 0 for 3. His last 21 days he's hitting 132. Last 2 weeks hitting 194. Last 7 days hitting 167.
It's not like you're getting a defensive star out there either.
And that's right.
I mean, he's adequate, but he's not good.
Because and also we were talking about the 2014 Royals since they're being honored.
Oh yeah,
this week,
yeah.
right?
Are you going to ask me my favorite 5?
We will.
Okay.
But how we forget how many guys offensively had kind of, I don't want to say crappy, but just like pedestrian, mediocre years that year offensively. And Moose only hit like 212 in 2014.
Mm-hmm.
And that just reminds me, remember the third base tree and all the discussion about Moose. It's one thing when you're giving a long leash to a guy that plays a premium position like third base.
Right.
Versus a guy that you just stuck in the corner outfield. Hey, justify your spot out here. And like you said, they're not seeing Gold Glove quality defense.
No, you're not getting great defense to make up for it. Where, Alec Gordon went through he had a tough time for a while with the bat. But his defense would win you games. That's the big difference. Can your defense win you the game where you can justify, okay, maybe he's not quite hitting what we expect, but man, his defense is fabulous. So, yeah, I don't know why they keep sticking him out there. I don't understand unless they're trying to trade him, but I don't know.
That ship might have sailed.
That shit, yeah. I was going to say, probably had a chance over the offseason would have been a great time because he finished strong last year.
Well, they almost traded him before the trade deadline last year to the Marlins.
Yeah.
It just didn't happen. And they were going to revisit those talks in the offseason. Then Kim Ng and the Marlins parted ways. Mm-hmm. So the GM that liked him left, and then the GM that took over for the Marlins said, "Yeah, we'll start talk deal. Vinny Pasquantino, please."
Yeah.
And the Royals said, "No."
How about no?
Right.
Yeah. No.
Michael Wacha.
Good last night. Very good. I love his changeup. I mean, he could throw that thing 80% of the time and get people out.
So tell me what you think of this. Andy Rogers wrote this after Wacha's last start, which, if you remember, I think he had 6 shutout innings, but then he didn't retire any of the 5 hitters in the 7th inning and ended up scoring 3 runs, and so that inflated his numbers. But it was still a good outing.
That was a good outing.
Okay?
Yeah.
And she talked about the fact that Wacha has never thrown a slider before, but he was interested in adding one to his repertoire. He worked on it in the offseason and in season during bullpen sessions. He recently found a grip that he's comfortable with.
That's a tough one when you're trying to learn something.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, and that's led to the movement he's been looking for, enough that he
it's almost like a cutter, small cutter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He debuted it to a
different.
few right-handed hitters against the Angels in that last start. He said, as soon as you get content with what you got, things can go south pretty quick. I'm always trying to mess with different grips, different pitches, and always trying to work on something to create a better repertoire.
Good.
So StatCast was confused, and his sliders were registering as the cutter, right?
Yeah, that's basically kind of what it looked like.
But it had a different break and was slower than his actual cutter.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't throw a lot of sliders, but most of them came down and away against righties.
Mm-hmm.
And so he said that's a weapon now that he could use that he really hadn't used against right-handed hitters. And so they said he's been tinkering with the sliders in spring training at the encouragement of the Royals pitching coaches to find something with depth that moved away. And so now he feels comfortable enough to use it. But I credit the Royals coaching staff for pushing him to do that, and not all guys that have been in the league that long would be open to that, right?
Not if you want to hang around.
You like what he said, though, his attitude about trying to tinker with things.
Exactly. Especially the older you get. But his fastball, hell, he hit 95 last night. I mean, that's pretty good fastball for a guy his age. So, yeah, it was not consistently, but he did hit 95.
The assistant pitching coach, Zach Bove, said It's trial and error at the end of the day, and it's not only the grip, but it's the cue and the feel and the trust. A ton of credit to him for being open and willing to try and experiment. It's been cool to see the progression on the pitch. And then Waka said, it's another weapon I can use out there. It'll probably be on scouting reports now, but I imagine it wasn't on theirs leading into that game. Just another something to protect that changeup. Something that's darting to the other side of the plate. I feel like it could be really useful. So now the last two starts, he's used it, and we've seen a difference the last two starts.
Right. And he hasn't really, last night he really didn't throw it for a strike or a strikeout, but it gave him something in their mind different to look at. He could throw this. The only mistake he made was that hanging curveball. He get it over curveball last night. To me, that was it. The rest of the game was pretty clean. He was fun to watch. It's just, I just still can't fathom people when you get two strikes on you. You don't shorten up a little bit and make some contact. Strikeouts are no big deal. Everybody just swings and goes back or takes it. The Melendez pitch strikeout where he took the fastball right down the middle for strike 3 and walked away. I went, really? I just can't. It just kills me to see guys. It just no big deal to strike out. It just.
But the bomb in the 7th inning made up for everything.
Yeah, that was a good inning. That was a good inning, and and Walker pitched really well. I thought he threw the ball well. He kept it out of the middle, hit different quadrants, different sides of the plate. I mean, that was a good outing, very good outing for him. I mean, if he can continue to do that, we got a nice little pitching staff. I want to go to Singer too, the game before.
Yes.
And talk about him a little bit, if I can.
Please. You got 3 minutes. Go.
Oh, good. What did you notice? You probably didn't notice what I noticed in his last start.
What?
He has a quick delivery to the plate, and there's a very fine line. If he gets in too much of a hurry, the ball elevates. And he was a little quicker than normal. His delivery was a little bit faster, and the ball elevated. And he got in a little bit of trouble because he kept us in the game, granted, but if he'd just backed off a little bit, he'd have got the ball because he pitches in the lower part of the zone. He's very good down there, and he needs to figure out, okay, I got to back this off just a click in order to get the ball, let my arm get to the position where I can get the ball down, and he never did it that game. I mean, that's the stuff he has to learn. He has to figure this out. He's not a kid anymore. You should be able to figure that out.
And have you seen that at all from him this year?
No, not really. Everything's pretty much been in sync, but he was a little quicker the other.
So what do you think the reason was?
I don't know. I have no idea. But as a pitcher and as a catcher, you got to see those things and say, hey, okay, here we got to back it off just one click, just a little bit, slow it down just enough to let the arm catch up and get the ball down because everything was up in the zone. And I'm going, come on, figure it out. You cannot keep throwing the ball up belt high. He didn't figure it out. Did I use my 3 minutes?
Was that 3 minutes? Like we're in a debate right now.
Thereabouts.
Okay.
I mean, we're flexible.
Are we? You hard ass?
No,
we're not.
No, we're not flexible,
We're not.
Jake.
We're flexible until 7:45.
Break.
At 7:45,
You want some break now?
Yeah,
but we break.
Yeah, he wants a break.
I call for a break.
What?
We'll break. Back after this on WHB. Prepare for a week of unbeatable deals at From the Earth dispensaries through Thursday. Enjoy a smooth and flavorful vaping experience with 50% off illicit vapes. Elevate your vaping game with premium, quality cannabis extracts meticulously crafted for your enjoyment. Plus, don't miss their exclusive offer. Buy any 4 illicit 5-pack smokos for just $99. Convenient and ready to enjoy. These pre-rolls are perfect for any occasion. Visit From the Earth today and take advantage of these amazing specials.
and HLAC certified, meeting the highest industry standards. Walker has partnerships with hospitals, surgery centers, and medical clinics in and around the metro area. Walker Medical Linen Services in Kansas City and online at walkermls.com.